Yo, what's going on, guys? Back at it here with Andrew. Shoot another YouTube video. I know the last one I did was a solo video, just my shot, my attempt at, again, like staying accountable to you guys, bringing out that consistent content. But, I really like the way Andrew shoots his videos. You guys saw the first one. So today we're going to put together another video here, a full upper body day. Very new to me. It's my kind of like third iteration through this type of split, type of training. I've always been doing like push-pull legs, but now working with my new coach. And stay tuned to the end of the video. I will tell you guys who my new coach is and announce that officially, because the season started and the Olympia's over and we're getting after it. I'm really liking the progress I'm getting since working with him and kind of this flow we've got going. So I will let you guys know who I'm working with after the video, after the training session. But yeah, we got an upper day video going on here where I do all the body parts. So we'll start with chest, do a little back, shoulders, finish off with some arms. But it's a new thing, but I really like it. It increases the frequency in which I'm able to hit all these muscle groups and keeps things kind of fresh. So I'm not overtraining certain things. I'm still getting that quality of sessions and really kind of spacing things out pretty well. So take you through the whole day of the upper. I'll tell you, kind of my thoughts behind certain movements and why I chose certain movements and just how things are going with this training. Again, it's kind of like my third iteration through this, and it's been pretty great so far. I've been really liking the growth that I'm achieving. Other updates. Just got back from California. So I spent about 4-5 days in California, went out there to see my dogs, my parents. Guys, you don't know how much, everybody has their own sacrifices, right? It's been like 8-9 months since I saw my parents. I would love to see them more, but just with like the demands of training, off seasons, competing, shows, they understand, they get it. When I'm locked in for my season, I'm locked in for my season. But it was really nice to go out to California, to take a few days to myself, enjoy time with my partner, enjoy time with my parents, eat some food. Right now, I'm kind of hovering about 230, 233. So not too bad, guys. I was able to enjoy some food and stuff, but I kept it, locked in for the most part, right? And that's the difference. I really want you guys to understand this. That's the difference between a professional and an amateur, difference between a good professional and an Olympian, right? Even when I go on vacation, I'm on my program, on my regimen, at least 90% of the time, right? There are certain non-negotiables that I will get through even on vacation that I will not let go of, which is training, nutrition, supplementation, and everything that goes along with that, right? So that's how I'm able to keep my progress intact, keep coming back here and just getting right back in the flow of things. So I'll take you guys through that today, and excited to show you a full upper day and announce who I'm working with after the training. So let's get it, guys. All right, you guys. So first movement here, this upper day. I love to start with shoulders. Reason why is, my shoulders have always been kind of, I wouldn't say a lagging body part, but it just stems from, early on in my bodybuilding career, it was a lagging body part, but what really helped me bring them up was prioritizing them. So on my push days, upper days, you'll see me start with shoulders. It's just something that my body's gotten used to, and it really helps just kind of open up kind of the shoulder joint. So in all other movements, whether you're pressing, pulling, having that shoulder mobility and kind of warming up the shoulder by starting with it has really helped me a lot. So that's why you see me start with shoulders a lot of the times with all my training. I love this machine here, this NewTech lateral raise. Man, it's just crazy smooth and being able to progress on it really well. So, you see a lot of people make this mistake where they just jump around machines. You got to find something to stick to it. Like once something feels really good, there's so much progression you can get out of it. Just have to be disciplined and patient. And that's one thing that fundamentally changed when I started to see a lot of progress, was just really finding the machines that I really liked, that fit well with my body and that moved well, didn't cause me pain, that could progress really well, and that lined up with the movements that I needed to hit with my training program. So, you got to check off all those boxes with your own training, find what works for you. So let's get this thing started. So you guys saw there with my range of motion, it was pretty extreme. That's why I say I love this machine. It allows for that overextended range of motion coming up all the way to the top. Now, you don't necessarily have to do that. And the reason why I choose to do that is because it doesn't hurt to get that extra range of motion. My shoulder mobility has been built up to be able to allow that range of motion to get that full contraction of the lateral delt from its insertion point here all the way to the origination point in a full contraction. And it feels good, right? Sure, you can argue I get a little bit more trap involved as well, but I need a little more trap. So, with movements like this, there's certain reasons why, different ranges of motion engages different things. So. All right. Second warm-up set here. Never get unflavored EAAs. So in my intro workout, I usually take 15 grams, 20 grams of EAAs, which if you buy like the flavored ones from any company, it does add up, right? The cost gets up there when you use like 2-3 scoops of their stuff. So what I did was I bulk bought EAAs and it's unflavored. So it's not the most pleasant thing to drink. Luckily, I have flavoring from the intra-workout carbs that I use. Yeah, pro tip, don't get unflavored EAAs. And touching up the upper body here, it's 2 sets per exercise at most, 2 working sets. I'll typically do a top set and a back off set, kind of, control fatigue, make sure I'm not overexerting myself. Because again, I'm doing 2 on, 1 off, so things are hit more frequently. Like, 3 days from now, I'll be hitting push again. So, want to make sure I'm not necessarily overtraining, but make sure I'm recovering. It's not about overtraining, it's about how much you can recover from it. So, yeah. Up. All right, guys, so as you can see here, I got a new piece. Many of you have been asking about this new tattoo and why all of a sudden I got it. Many of you seen I've been following me for a while. So know that I got this one removed, this armband that I had. This was a mistake, 18-year-old mistake, but this one actually means something. So let's take a look here. Right, what it is a foo dog. So in Chinese heritage and Chinese culture, it means protection, strength, prosperity. You'll see this foo dog in like a sculpture, in temples, banks, all throughout Asia, especially in China. And there's a reason for that, you know, so strength, prosperity, fortune. Then I got a peony flower, which is like tranquility, peace, prosperity. And then I got Chinese characters here. So in Mandarin, this means Wu and Di, Wu Di. In English, that translates to invincible, undefeated, right? Why did I choose that? Because, you know, guys, everybody has a story. Everybody has trials, tribulations. And you are here today at this very moment, let's say watching this video, or even me right now, because you survived and overcome everything that has been in your life thus far up to this point. So essentially, you're undefeated, right? So it's just a reminder that, hey, I've come far, I'm working hard, I have strength, I am prosperous, I am fortunate. And then tie it all together, I have a koi fish flowing into the body, right? Bringing good energy, good chakra, good meaning back into my body and in my life, right? So finally addressing it, telling you guys what it means. Yeah, I mean, I overcame a lot in my 20s. I just turned 30, and I can say I'm proud of myself. I've overcome a lot in my 20s to get to this point, and I did everything I said I was going to do that I promised my 20-year-old self I would do at 30. So, all right, guys. So now that I warmed up my shoulder, popping into movements like this is easy. You know, I don't really feel the cracking or tenseness. Again, it's about finding what works for you guys, what exercise order works for you guys. And that's what I do for my clients. You know, when I build programs for all my athletes, part of it is defining exercise order. You know, some of them, for example, love to go into a squat pattern right away. Some of them want to warm up all their appendages first, right? You know, take an approach of warming up, doing hamstrings and adductors and extensions, and then going to a squat pattern. You know, some need a little bit of pre-activation with their chest. So instead of going directly to a press movement, they'll do a fly movement first and then go into a press. So it's all about finding what works and rolling with it. Here. Yeah, guys, consistency comes in many forms. You know, honestly, I come back in here after a vacation and I hop right back in. I'm not giving up ground with my load selection, any of that. I feel fresh. So you guys can enjoy life for real. Like, I mean, to varying degrees, right? I think I enjoyed my time there. Maybe other people will think it's too strict. But yeah, at the end of the day, you know, there's no balance. If you're craving balance, it's more oftentimes leading to mediocrity. And I'm not in this to be mediocre, so never have been. But again, you gotta find your own middle ground, and nobody can tell you that for you. Something that you have to discover going through the journey yourself. And you know, I have clients that just recently, one of my younger guys, he went on vacation with his family, and he came back very disgruntled and disheartened because he did lose progress. But I told him, hold on to that feeling because it'll prepare you for the next time. Because vacations, family events, things like that, life doesn't stop, man. That's the hardest thing about bodybuilding is that life has to go along with it. So I told him, hold on to that feeling because it's a reminder that you don't want to feel this complacency or this upset with yourself in the future because you didn't prepare or that you chose to let yourself go. So as you go through the journey, that grip that you have might be a little bit tighter next time. So it doesn't feel that way. Stop avoiding the discomfort, the pain. Stop fearing failure. You're going to fail no matter what. Fail faster, but fail forward, right? It's, you know, life is a bunch of lessons. Just because you fail once doesn't mean it's over. You get up the next day and you do it all over again. Oh. Bro, it's so funny. I went to Knott's Berry Farm and like I barely fit on the rides. I was on the silver bullet, you know, the thing that comes down. It wouldn't close all the way. They had took two people to come up and like press that shit in. I kind of felt claustrophobic for a second, but I was like, fuck it. I'm probably never gonna be able to ride this ride again. If I come back next year, I'm bigger. So I was like, you know, I'm just gonna deal with it. It was fun though. I know. But dude, there's people there that are like larger, right? Like fatter, obviously, but I don't know how they fit, bro. Because they're probably like squishy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a squishy.
Back offsets are great, guys. You guys, let's just see that right there. So I lowered the weight, and that's why it's not all about weight. I felt that so much better than that top set. Top set was great. I progressed it. I used a heavier weight than last time with perfect form, perfect execution. But when I backed it off just now, every rep just felt like that much more connected. So if you guys got back offsets in your program or haven't tried back offsets, you know, hopefully watching this and understanding what's the purpose of them, you know, to get that better engagement, better muscle recruitment, tax the muscle further without implicating form, without exposing yourself to too much injury. Because yeah, I could take the same weight again, but let's say I get less reps or not as well connected. So it's not all about the weight, guys. Back offsets can be a valuable tool in your progress. So. Every pound counts. All right, guys, so just again, so you guys understand my sequence a little better here. Start off with lateral raises, get the shoulders going. Go into a fly, activate that kind of shoulder girdle, that fly motion, that chest, obviously. And then you guys saw how quickly I acclimated and warmed up here with this pressing movement. So it's just about that efficiency as well. That thought process behind exercise order and how I sequence things to be as efficient as possible. Get the most out of my training. But yeah, we'll see what we can do with this weight here. A little bit of new weight. Like I said, every pound counts. 10 pounds is 10 pounds, guys. So try to push for maybe 10 to 12. Progress, baby. Progress, baby.
How's everything?
Good.
Right?
Yeah, it's a work in progress. You know how it is. Back to the drawing board. And
Yeah.
how's everything with you?
All good, all good.
Yeah.
Give it a little break this last couple of months, working a lot. So now that the gym is open,
Yeah.
get back to it.
Are you working here now?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm here. What about you?
Yeah. I moved here now. Good. Ah. All right, 2 and done. 2 solid sets. Whew. All right, so last chest movement was upper day. You saw I did a fly, incline press. Now I got a more of a horizontal press. This machine is great because you get a lot of stimulus and doesn't really take that much out of you. So you're really getting a lot of chest activation without much, having to load plates or, put the weight over your chest like a bench press. So again, it's about that exercise selection, exercise order, and really building a plan that makes the most sense, right? So again, finishing off the chest portion, getting a lot of stimulus for not that much energy waste, because you got to keep in mind, I'm going on the back next. So, all right. So just one warm-up set here, because my chest is already warmed up. Just kind of prime the movement, get a feel, make sure the settings are right. I'm at the whole stack now on this thing, so see how it feels this week. Guys, also a key to your progression is how weight feels. I know feeling is so subjective, but let's say you take the same weight for multiple sessions in a row, but that same weight feels different each session, whether reps 1 through 6 are easier. The whole set is a little bit easier. You get more activation with your chest the entire time. You stay connected through the whole set. That's progress. So even though feeling is subjective, if you are brutally honest with yourself and you know what you're looking for, and you are objective with your own critiques of yourself and how the weight's moving, it could be a great measure of your progress. That's not tied to just weights, There's so many different ways to progress, guys. And it's, as a professional, that's what separates me from those of you out there, is the way I think about things and how I internalize things, perceive things, and understand things. So I'm just trying to give you guys a better insight and understanding about how I view progress and what's getting me to progress and make these changes that you're seeing, up until this point. All right. Mm, 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 mm. One thing I don't like about the off season is when you're heavier, everything kind of hurts more. Bending over sucks. Your knees are kind of achy. But then again, like a flip of a switch, you know, you're in prep again, you're getting lighter. So just embrace the parts of the process, each part of it. Ah, done. All right, guys, so we got back now for this upper day. Starting with a seated row here. Love this machine. It's very efficient, guys. So like on my upper days, you guys don't see me load a lot of plates or that stuff. I'll pick equipment and machines that, one, feel really good on targeted muscles, move well with me, but also doesn't make it too taxing where I'm getting the highest stimulus to what I'm doing. So what I have planned is this. You'll see me do a pull down, see me do another seated cable row, and then lat push down. And that'll be the back portion. Like 2 sets per. My back can handle a good amount of volume. That's why it's about 8 sets today, working sets. But yeah. Ah. Come with thumbs off.
You know what? I just got here like
like 4 months ago.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you, man. Yo,
Yeah, you competed, bro, or what?
incredible. Nah, I was supposed to do the Masters Olympia. I never qualified. I'll get ready for my debut this March.
Okay,
I'm
man.
gonna do this shit here. What you got coming up next?
Nothing for a while, bro. I'm trying to grow.
Yeah, I feel you, but still, if I had that physique, you already know you could be up there just whooping ass.
What's your name, brother?
Lennon.
Lennon. I'm Nick. Nice to meet you, bro.
Nice to meet you, Nick.
See you around here, my man. You look
Yeah,
great.
Likewise. Shit. Yo, no, you know, I'm an old school dude, right? So for me, like, I'm from where competitors used to do 6-8 shows in a year, right? And that shit wasn't foreign.
Yeah.
You understand why today, like, you can't do that shit just because of the way everybody's built.
Yeah.
Even with just the way we rebound and what that shit does to everybody's waistline, you don't got that issue. So when I'm saying what I'm saying about you, it's just we haven't seen a motherfucker rail off 5, 6, 7 shows and whoop ass like that.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get there, my man. You know how it is.
Yo, keep on grinding, bro.
Great to meet you, Lennon.
Like
See you around, my brother. Love this machine. Back's firing. So some pull downs. Another NewTech special. It's got the lat pull down here, plate loaded. Just the way it moves is so smooth, man. And that's the beautiful thing about this gym. You never have to wait on anything. There's like 2 of everything. See, there's another one over there. You got this one. But yeah, let's breeze through this back section. Back's already pumped up, chest's pumped up. Feeling really good today. We're moving. And guys, that's the thing too. So right now, I'm not eating the crazy amount of food. And I ain't mad about it. Because if I'm progressing, I'm recovering, I'm staying lean, weight's gradually moving up. You don't need to be pushing extremes for what? Just to say you're eating more food? Or just to see the scale move quicker? Just because it's moving quicker doesn't mean you're gaining muscle. If I can hold, truthfully, if I can hold around this weight range, 230, 235, and hold this good condition, if not get better condition, let the physique mature, gain that quality tissue. By the time prep starts, the exciting stuff, you know? Because last time I started prep around 239 last year, ended up on stage around 199, 200 pounds. So it's like 40 pounds of loss right there. Give or take 10 pounds of that being water, but cooking up something special. So we'll see. We'll see what this next season holds. And very confident in what me and my new coach are cooking up. So yeah. Ah. Whew. Okay. Guys, I really appreciate all the support you guys have given me on these like few videos I've been able to post. You know, just getting back in the swing of things with YouTube. I'm incredibly grateful that those of you out there want to watch this stuff, right? It's really kind of set me out of my comfort zone because I'm really just about the work. But I know nowadays there's so much content out there. But a lot of it, you know, in my opinion, is not worth watching. In the sense that, like, you know, you're seeing everybody's like kind of step 1 or step 2, 3, 4, 10. But it's very rare where you get to see, you know, insight, the process at a certain level. You know, where, let's say I've been to the Olympia a couple times, many of you know that. Now I'm trying to go back to the Olympia in a different category. A lot of you have seen the improvement from men's physique to classic physique. And it's no easy feat. It really isn't. You know, I say this time and time again, reflecting back. When I made the first change from men's physique to classic, I didn't really know what I was getting into, right? Not to discredit all the experience and work that I did before, but completely different battleground, completely different kind of approach, mindset-wise and everything. And so I had to reinvent myself. And in life and in sport and any process, there comes like kind of like a reincarnation, a rebirth, because you have to kind of rewrite your old self to become a new, better version of you. Everybody will have to go through that. And whether you resonate with that now or you resonate with that sometime later in your journey, I remember mentors of mine telling me that before, like, hey, at some point you're going to need to reinvent yourself, rewrite what you're doing. And I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. I thought you just kept adding to what you're doing. While that may be the case, there's a little bit of rewriting and revision in the whole process as well too. You know, circumventing and getting rid of old beliefs, old thoughts, old habits, and overriding that with new ones so you can become better, so you can add to what you're doing instead of just whittling away or staying the same. You know, because sometimes old thoughts, old beliefs hold you back. But yeah, I'm incredibly grateful. I have, you know, good people around me. The man behind the camera, I appreciate him because you guys will see the difference in videos from what I do to what he does. But I mean, I want to throw, change it up sometimes. Sometimes I'll do my own videos. Sometimes, I respect his schedule and his time, and he has, but his videos will all ultimately be better, of course. But, you get a taste of everything, guys. All right, let's finish up this workout and get on with the announcement at the end of it. I'm sure you guys want to know who I'm working with.
Thinking more clearly, and I have energy to focus on other things, which is good. Yeah.
Do you get the nasal pillow?
Yeah. So I'm not.
Wow. Ah. Ah. All right, you guys. So we got some things for the back portion. You guys saw all the movements. About 8 working sets there. Towards the last tail end there, I kind of breezed through those exercises. I was already warmed up. I felt good. I pushed progress where I could. I actually got a couple more reps on the working sets. Now we're on to rear delts. So rear delts and then a little bit of upright rows superset. I don't really utilize supersets as much, but on an upper day like this one, I'm trying to be efficient. I'll throw them in. So this is me go back to back rear delts with upright rows. Uh, whew. Uh, ah. That was the superset for shoulders. Hit some rear delts, hit some side delts, some traps. Now we're doing triceps and biceps, and then we're done. All right, guys. So as you saw here, just recently, I was doing bilateral movement with tries. Now that I'm a little more taxed, I want to make sure I'm really getting the tricep, getting as much activation as possible. So a trick of the trade is switching to unilateral. You'll be surprised how much you can attenuate more mind-muscle connection to when you do one arm at a time versus both arms at a time. Yes, both arms at a time is a little more efficient, but one arm at a time might take you a little bit more time to do the workout, but I guarantee you when you get tired, especially towards the end, that unilateral stuff really helps you just keep that connection and get the most out of your reps and sets. So with that unilateral thing I just talked about, you saw that I got a lot of more reps doing 1 hour at a time. And that's purposeful because I was able to connect more with the muscle. So now I'm increasing the weight for this last one and just really getting the most out of it. Nice. So last movement here, call them Bayesian curls. Basically just cable curls where you're letting the cables really stretch out here, get that lengthened position of the bicep. And it's just super efficient at getting those bicep peaks, getting that proper engagement in the bicep. One of my favorite movements for biceps. So let's finish this thing up. All right, you guys, so that was a full upper body day on this new split. I gotta take you guys through a couple more days. So you have to see a push day, you have to see a leg day. So stay tuned for more videos like that. And like always, guys, if there's anything you guys wanna see, drop a comment down below, message me on Instagram, leave a like, please, and subscribe. It really means a lot. It'll keep this thing going. It'll let me know that, hey, I'm on the right track. I appreciate all the views on the last couple of videos, and I really want to see this thing through. Like I said, I really like expressing myself in this medium, talking to you guys, being real, giving you guys insights. And like I said earlier in the video, it's just really giving you a deep dive into the process at another level, right? Everybody's making content nowadays, and I respect it. I love it. I love seeing people starting on their journeys, things like that. But I really want to make sure that this type of unique content, where you see somebody like myself who's been at the top, been at the Olympia, really get to show you the real, the raw. And now, on to the huge announcement, who I'll be working with for the 2026 season. And that, my friends, fans, followers, is Cameron Cheek. So Cameron's been on my radar for a while. He's an up-and-coming coach. I wouldn't even say up-and-coming anymore. He's an established coach. He's young, he's hungry, we're relatively on the same age, but when I was talking to him and we were having our consult, man, we just hit it off. I've always respected his work. I see what he's doing with his clients, really kind of bringing them from a starting point and elevating them through their careers. You know, it's one thing as a coach to take, let's say, an already established athlete who's genetically blessed and gifted, and then bettering them a little bit, or maybe, you know, getting them a show win. But you could just see like they're already right there. And no discredit to whatever coach does that, but it's a different thing entirely to take, let's say, somebody who's an amateur or just starting their pro career and working their way up through the ranks. So I really admired that about him. And you know, truth be told, we've been working together now for about 4 weeks now. It's been really pleasant experience communicating with him, learning. That's why I started on this new split, the 2-on, 1-off. He's been taking full control of my diet, everything. And it's just great to be an athlete again. So link to his profile here, you'll see him. That's who I'm working with for the 2026 season. I'm excited to run a couple shows this year with him and see where it goes, man. But the goal is the Olympia. The goal is multiple show wins this year. And as you can see, I'm working very hard to get there. So if you guys made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'm out of here.